Did you hear about the market crash here in Orange County, California? Well, today we're going to dive into what is happening in our Orange County real estate market. I'm Jim with the Bishop team, your leading realtors here in Orange County, California. Let's see what's going on in our real estate market.
So the first thing we're going to look at is inventory. Back in 2019, you had about 2,800 homes for sale, dropped in 2020, 2021 was super low, bottom of the barrel, lowest point ever, back up in 2022, but then back down here in 2023. So if you compare this year versus 2019, we're down 73% fewer homes for sale, down 39% from last year. So let's look at it a different way. Our inventory trends back in 2019, you can see peaked number of homes for sale, went up throughout the year, peaked in August. And then 2022, you can see started that super low number, peaked again in August, didn't taper off quite as fast. But then in 2023, you can see we did peak in August, but barely above where we started the year. Most of the months have been below where we started the year, including September. And that's really significant. And let's look at why. So the first thing is new listings coming on the market. You can see in 2019, we peaked, started off the year, you ramp up, peaks in May, and then tapers off. 2022 started that same way, peaked in April, but then as interest rates started to rise, it dropped off a little bit faster than you would normally see. And then in 2023, started off at a super low number, didn't really peak that much. We did peak in June and then tapered off a little bit as we've been going through the year, but not as much as other years. This is the other factor in that is interest rates. We had a peak last October, 7.3% for a 30-year fixed mortgage. We actually surpassed that in August, towards the end of August. If you look at the right end of the graph, we went down a little bit from there coming into September, but still above 7%, and that's really affecting both buyers and sellers. So here's new listings year to date, almost 11,000 in 2019, less than 5,500 here in 2023. So down 50% compared to 2019 and any other year in history. And that's sellers not listing their homes because they're going to get a mortgage and they don't want to pay 7% because they've got 3% now. So that's restricting inventory. Now let's look at escrows. So that's a measure of demand. First graph is 2019. You can see we peak in May. Ramps up pretty quickly in the beginning of the year and then kind of tapers off as you get through the summer and into the fall. 2022, we peaked a little bit earlier in April and it drops off faster because interest rates went up and up and up and really put the brakes on the buying market. And then this year, with interest rates still being high, we started low, didn't go nearly as high, peaked in May, but didn't drop off as much as you got through the last couple of months. See that red line is more flat. So buyer demand is there. They've adjusted to the higher interest rates. It's just supply is really low. We've got buyers who, it's like, oh, we have one house to look at this week, and rather than 10 or 20 or 50. The supply is really low, and that's restricting the homes that are getting into escrow and then closings, which we'll get to here in a minute. So here are closed sales throughout the year. Blue line is 2019. You can see we peak in May, shoots up really quickly that first quarter or so into May, and then holds strong throughout the summer months, the summer selling season, and then tapers off towards the end of the year. 2022 started off even stronger, peaking in April and then falling off quicker, again because of interest rates. And then 2023, as buyers have been adjusting to these higher interest rates, we did ramp up in the beginning of the year. You can see we peaked in May, and haven't, again, holding fairly steady through the summer selling months. In fact, August had more closed sales than July, which is a good sign for market activity. So now we're going to look at inventory compared to escrow. So your blue line is number of homes for sale, green line is number of homes in escrow. Quote unquote normal market, you might see 2 or 3 homes for sale for every one in escrow. But back in when COVID came in, you can see we went inverted here, meaning there's more homes in escrow than for sale. Extremely hot market, very limited supply compared to demand. Went back the other way in 2022, but behind my fat head here, you see that we actually went inverted a little bit again, and then right now the inventory is dropping and demand is holding pretty steady. So another way to look at it is on our market index graph here, and you can see here you got twice as many homes for sale as in escrow. Here you've got almost 3 times as many. This is where we went negative. And then we've gone back up. We're running about 30%, meaning there's 30% more homes for sale than in escrow, but that gap is trending down a little bit. So something to keep an eye on. So everybody wants to know, what is that done for pricing? Well, here is average dollar per square foot for South Orange County. Going back to 2020, you can see we peaked in about May of 2022. But look at that. We are actually about 1% above where we were at the peak last year. And that is an average across all of Orange County. Same for South Orange County. Let's look at some of the individual cities. So this shows the same time frame, but for a couple of the South Orange County cities. Aliso Viejo in red, which is here. You can see we peaked again in May of 2022, and we're down about 3% from that point, although we've recovered a lot of the ground that we had lost at the end of last year. Mission Viejo, very similar situation, peaked in June, down 4% from the peak, but in July we're actually almost even with the peak. And then Irvine is up 4% from the peak. So every city is different. If you want to know what your city is like, or your home, your neighborhood, give us a call. That's what we're here for.
So a lot of people are asking, what's in the crystal ball? Well, the crystal ball is broken. What are interest rates going to do? What are sellers going to do? Are they going to finally get off the fence and say, hey, I got to upsize, I got to downsize, I'm leaving the area, I'm moving towards the beach? So a lot of the indicators are that interest rates are going to stay relatively high, probably towards the end of the year. Next year might come down a little bit. But something to keep in mind, if you are a buyer, as soon as interest rates drop, you're going to be competing against a lot of other buyers who are waiting for interest rates to drop. True sellers are waiting for interest rates to drop, especially those that are going to get a mortgage on their new home. But the feeling is that there's going to be more buyers coming in than sellers coming on the market. So probably put some upward pressure on pricing if interest rates drop. So you'll have to check in next month to see what the September market holds for us. So in the meantime, I'm Jim with the Bishop team, your leading realtors here in Orange County, California, helping you navigate this market, whether you're buying, selling, or investing. If there's anything you need, give us a call and have a great September.